1, 2, Sarang!
Hey! Hey everyone, it's Trency!
Hi, this is Pia.
Hello, this is Monica and welcome to another episode of 1, 2, Sarang!
Hello!
Yes!
Yo!
Exciting! Let's go!
Ang cheerful natin, ah.
Correct.
Oh, wait, balik.
Okay.
Excited. Ano ba dapat, expression?
Actually, hindi ko alam. Yun din yung tatanong ko mamaya sa ating pag-uusapan. Kung ano talagang naramdaman natin sa end. So, for today's show, for this show, we are going to talk about the second part of The Glory.
Oh. Not the whole, but
Not the whole. The Glory. Ang galing ng first part kasi talagang binitin tayo eh. Alam mo yun? We already knew na Dong Eun will get her revenge. But the question was how, 'di ba?
Correct.
Tapos ang dami nang nakalatag na games, na plays, na kung anong pwedeng mangyari. And finally, on the second part, na-unfold nga kung paano siya naging successful. Of course, successful. Kitang-kita naman sa promo pa lang na mananalo siya. Whatever happens, di ba? Ang gusto ko lang naman pag-usapan for this episode is to ask you guys, out of the many unexpected plot twists or turning points, alun dun yung parang tumatak sa inyo.
Ooh.
We also want to talk about the mothers because they played such a big role. Lumabas na they play such a big role in the unfolding of the story of Dong Eun.
Yeah.
The third question that we want to talk about is, did we get the happy ending that we wanted? And finally, was it really worth it splitting the show into 2 parts? Did you like it? Which part did you like, if ever? So, ayun. Yun ang mga tanong natin for this show.
Okay. Ready to answer them.
Yeah.
I have many thoughts.
Sobrang dami ko rin thoughts.
Oo.
My God.
Pero wait, meron akong quickie tanong. Kasi ako, nahirapan ako to actually start the second part. How did you guys do it? Because like, syempre coming from the first part, dun yung binuhos yung bigat kung bakit niya gustong mag-revenge on these people, diba? So, ang bigat-bigat ng show. And then there was like this there was something like blocking me. Alam mo yun, may weight on my shoulders na parang, do I really want to watch the second part? Because I kind of felt like, am I really gonna face another like wave of bigat or something? But how did you guys deal with it? Like,
Ako out of necessity. Wow. Kasi nakaschedule.
kasi sinabi na natin, actually.
Oo.
Sa totoo lang, oo nga.
Oo.
Because like, you know, we did say that we still want to know what it's like, what the ending would be like.
Correct.
But, like, yeah, bigat, no? So, kayong mga listeners, ang galing nyo, kung the moment it dropped, like, pinanood nyo agad.
It was super hard. Parang kailangan mo talagang mag-prepare ng sarili mo mentally before watching it. And then, there was a time, sabi ko, okay, sa gabi ko na lang papanoorin pag tulog na yung daughter ko para hindi din niya nakikita because I want to kind of shield her from the things that are happening. And then, nung pinanood ko naman siya ng gabi, oh my God, ang hirap makatulog. Parang feeling ko mapapanaginipan ko siya. So, ginagawa ko na lang kapag nasa school siya, saka ako nanonood. Yun yung mga strategy nanay. Okay, yun lang.
Good.
Tama
Tama,
naman din.
kasi we are gonna be talking about nanays later on.
Yes. Ako, marami akong makakilala na parang they were excited to know. Parang inabangan talaga nila.
Oo.
Tapos meron akong kilala na parang minarathon niya both.
Oh my
seasons.
gosh!
Dire-diretso?
Dire-diretso. Parang ginawa niya in 1 weekend.
Actually,
Pero in
ako na
fairness,
ginawa yun.
in fairness, pacing-wise kasi kaya siya.
Oo,
Kaya
mabilis
siya.
kasi siya.
Oo. Tsaka parang okay nga na ganun. Parang cliffhangers kasi siya eh. So actually, nung nag-end yung part 1, parang yung feeling na, oh my God, shit, kailangan ko na malaman kung anong mangyayari. May ganun. Tapos hihintayin mo pa siya.
Pero nga sobrang, yun din yung ang hirap kasi alam mong mabigat siya, pero gusto mong malaman yung kasunod kasi maganda nga yung pagkakapace and then yung mga cliffhanger niya. Yung friend ko nga rin na nanood, nakakatawa lang siya. I don't know kung bakit ganun, pero siya parang kilig na kilig lang siya the whole time.
What?
May message siya sa akin. Sabi niya, grabe, nakakakilig naman pala to. Sabi ko, walang yang to.
Kilig!
Gusto mo talaga Carino brutal? Ganyan? Okay, go.
Okay, you do you.
Exactly. Kudos, friend.
So, ayun na nga, diba? Like, we just really wanted to know what was gonna happen, how things were gonna unfold. And so many things happened. Like, ang daming mga unexpected sa totoo lang. As in, kudos talaga to the writers. It could have gone like a sort of cliche way in a way.
Correct.
And then this time, the way in the show it was presented, some were cliche, pero parang hindi ko pa rin in-expect na ganun yung pangyayari. Hindi ko siya ma-explain.
Same.
Yeah.
Parang it was executed well. Kahit na may mga cliche parts, it's still parang satisfactory. Hindi yung parang, tangin na naman. Parang walang ganong feeling na nalugi ka or dinaya
Correct.
ka.
Oo.
Correct, oo nga.
Ano dun yung favorite nyo? Ano yung parang plot twist or turning point na parang yun yung pinaka hindi nyo in-expect or pinaka na-shock kayo or something?
Naisip ko lang when you were asking that, kasi nung part 1, we were talking about, ano pa nga, Jae-jun, the dad, diba?
Jae-jun, oo.
Na parang sabi natin, parang ano lang siya dito, bystander asshole na mayaman na kasama sa barkada. Parang yun yung tingin natin sa kanya, diba? We thought na parang medyo wala siyang ganun kalaking role kundi maging tatay ni Yesol pala. But then this one, yung nalaman natin na, gago rapist yung putang inang
Diba?
gagong yun.
Oo.
Gago siya,
Grabe
putang
yun.
ina niya. Sorry, pero grabe talaga. Wow,
Yeah.
yun. Sobrang,
Yeah.
I felt so, I don't know, betrayed na parang, my God, he deserves the worst in life. Yun.
Correct. Actually nga, prior to, yun nga, that scene happening, or yung revelation na yun, parang I was kind of pissed because all the women seemed like they're the worst people in the world. Parang feeling ko may imbalance in terms of like showing, you know, the wickedness of the characters in the show. Parang it's always the women who are mean or they're crazy and all that.
Correct.
And then nung na-bring up na yun, na yun nga na parang rapist siya, alam mo yun, parang okay, I guess, yun lang. So he deserves his end.
No. Pero alam mo, sobrang yung iniisip ko talaga nun, kasi like, remember that scene like in the funeral of Myung-oh. Tapos like, it was a shit show. Alam mo yun? Nagsipag-awayan yung dalawang girls. Jae-jun's like Kebs on the side. And then parang you finally see the picture of like, what a horrible barkada this is. Like,
Correct.
a bunch of horrible people banding together. And then, nung na-reveal nga na si Jae-jun nga yung rapist, alam mo yon, like pinuntis niya si Sohee, parang aside from the anger na putang ina, alam mo yon, parang there was like this deception nga, parang it kind of also made me think na, you know, sorry pero parang you know how like-minded people will always stick together. And we've seen every single one to be evil.
Correct.
Like, it kind of made sense na may ganun pala siyang baho. May ganun pala siyang evilness pala on the side. Kahit na at the beginning, we were saying na siya yung pinaka-minor na minor perpetrator. Pero hindi pala. Alam mo yun. So, yun lang naman yung thoughts ko on that.
Kaya parang actually yung isa mga major twists for me was his death at the end. Na parang, alam mo yung mga ganong death scenes, yung mga, parang, yung nabubury sila in cement. You know? Parang it's so very, such a traumatizing thing to witness. So parang nung nangyaring sa kanya, parang, and then knowing na, ayun nga, rapist siya, and then he is just this god-awful human being who lets all these like other god-awful people do what they do, alam mo yun, and still stick with them. Parang much deserved. Pero yung biggest twist talaga for me is na ginawa siya ng tatay ni Doyoung. So parang like, oh my God, parang okay. So he is also looking for his own revenge. Alam mo yun. Hindi niya tatakbuhan yung situation. Gagawa rin siya ng paraan.
Gets.
Correct.
Speaking of, the second part, did you feel na it didn't feel like it was just Dong Eun's revenge? Parang biglang every single character had something had wanted to do something to avenge something.
Correct.
Wala lang. So
Correct.
parang the
Oo.
glory naging the glory of kaya pala siya the glory period. Kasi it could have been Dong Eun's glory.
Correct. Lahat sila merong
Lahat pala sila may gustong ipaglaban.
True.
Ang ganda na mini-mention nila ngayon. Parang I don't think they mentioned the glory or I mean sa subs as much as they did in part 2. Parang sa part 1 hindi masyado.
They never
Oo
did.
nga.
Parang sa part 2 as in inire-reiterate siya ng re-reiterate. Pero in different ways. Parang iba-iba yung interpretation of the glory nila. So I kind of find that interesting na may ganung connection na dun sa title. Kasi I remember nung part 1, we were also asking each other na parang, bakit ba the glory? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng the glory? So, the glory isn't, di ko nga alam, tama ba yung translation ng the glory? Ito ba yung,
Alam mo,
parang medyo
ito kasi
na-confuse ako.
iniisip ko, kasi like, kung titignan mo kasi yung title, medyo nakakatawa yung title niya in Hangul. Kasi kung basahin mo siya, para lang siyang hinangulize na the glory din. The glory. Ganun lang yung pagkakasulat niya. Kaya parang pinabalikan ko sa mga dialogue, hindi ko naririnig na sinasabi nung mga characters na glory, glory, glory.
Oo.
Kung so, I thought kasi like the Hangul would be the Korean meaning. Pero hindi eh. So, baka na yun, parang artistic license ng translator to put it in. Feeling ko lang.
Oo, kasi kung hindi naman lang ginagamit. So, pero in essence, kung ano yung the glory, kung ano yung interpretation of the glory, yung pinapasok nila dun sa conversation.
Yeah.
Oo.
But they
Parang
did
ganun.
use glory, at least in the English subs, once.
Oo.
When Dong Eun told the husband, Do Young, na ikaw yung glory ni Yeonjin.
Oo.
Oo.
Although, but I like that they used that term or context at least in that conversation.
Yeah.
So, parang mas klaro yung intention ni Dong Eun, I guess. And then they didn't repeat it. You know how sometimes
No, they did.
in writing, did they? When else did they repeat it?
Oo.
They used it
Parang
many-
twice or thrice ko nakita.
Twice or thrice siya
Talaga?
naulit.
Hindi ko siya napansin. Parang yun
Parang
lang
there
yung
was
tumatak
this
sa akin.
there was this one conversation where they were talking about the glory of everyone's revenge. So parang yun kasi in relation to Yeonjin's husband as being her glory. So yung parang ano niya, parang ano bang term? Parang yun yung pagyayabang niya, I don't know, like big check on her checklist. But all the others who are looking for revenge, yung revenge yung glory nila. Parang yun yung intindi ko dun sa conversation na yun. When they were pertaining to everyone finding a way to get back to, to get back on all the people in their lives na talagang sinira yung buhay nila. Parang ganun.
Okay.
Ayun. Isa pa sa mga unexpected twists na nagulat ako. Kasi I mean for me, parang everything that happened in part 2, more or less nalatag na siya ng part 1. So you kinda know kung ano yung mangyayari. Pero yung isa sa mga parang, okay, that happened. Yung we find out na yung pumatay pala talaga kay Myung-oh is the assistant in Fiesta.
Yeah!
Oo.
It's
So
her
parang,
glory.
that's her glory. Oo. Diba?
But, actually, ito yung turning point na gusto kong i-share. Kasi tinatanong ko talaga sa sarili ko, bakit dun siya nakatira?
Girl, actually, oo nga.
Actually, the bigger question is, kasi siya nga pala yung binuli na girl after Dong Eun, di ba?
Correct.
So, why is it that she's still around? Like, why is she still serving Jae-jun and Yeonjin in a way? And Myung-oh, gets, magkakilala sila eh. But then again, of course, that could be like,
ano yan, yung syndrome?
yeah, that syndrome na
Yeah.
hindi ka nakakawala from that trauma. Like, you actually, kahit na alam mong traumatized ka doon, you still stick with it because I guess it's the only thing you know. May mga ganun eh, di ba?
Correct. Si
So,
Belle.
Sinong Belle? Nung Beauty
Ay,
and
hindi
the
pala.
Beast?
Ibang
the
syndrome
Beast.
pala yun. Ay, hindi. Si Rihanna. Yung parang battered wife syndrome. Parang ganun.
Okay.
Parang ganun.
Yeah. Parang ganun. Pero yeah, parang ganun nga siya. So, and ganun din si mommy, si Yeonnam, 'di ba? May battered wife syndrome din siya.
Ooh, grabe. Wait, bago yan pag-usapan, dadagdagan ko lang yung mga tanong mo. May isa pa akong malaking tanong din dyan. Na parang, hindi ba pag dumating ka sa isang crime scene, una mo nga hanapin yung weapon. They
Correct.
never looked for it.
They never did.
Correct.
Yeah.
They didn't even try. Like, it was with her. Like, no one really looked for it. Akala ko ba mga pulis kayo na tumutulong, sumasideline as,
Although,
cleaners?
to be fair, hindi. The cleaner police, the bad cops, you mean?
The
Bakit
bad
hindi
cop.
nila hinanap?
Yeah, hindi nila hinanap. Parang, they could have asked, like, what did you use to kill him? Kasi we have to hide it.
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah.
your fingerprints are on it.
Actually, that is a
Diba?
good question.
Yeah, you have to accept it na lang. Anyway,
Oo nga,
going back to
tapos
what
na.
you said.
Patay na si Byung. O yan lang
Oo.
naman, yun yung yun yung isa sa mga hindi hanggang ngayon iniisip kung bakit siya doon nakatira. Like, come on.
Oo, totoo.
Yung isa din pa pala na na revelation that I liked was yung plot twist din dun sa landlady na meron din pala silang connection
may
ni Dong Eun.
connection. Correct.
Diba? Na parang, sometimes, parang minsan kasi parang ifo-forgo mo na lang na, hindi, motherly landlord lang siya. Parang ganun lang.
Correct.
And
Oo.
then, parang meron palang ganung angle na she saved me. Yung may ganon. Parang,
Correct.
okay, now it makes more sense and their relationship became more meaningful because of it.
I actually like that part.
Ako rin. Normally, I hate it kasi parang, was that really necessary? May ganon. Gets when they add like that savior out of nowhere. At may sakit ng K-drama na ganon. Pero, naalala ko kasi sa first part, diba, isa sa mga attempts ni Dong Eun na magpakamatay. Dun nga, sa water.
Oo.
Hindi pinakita how it happened. Pinakita na lang na she was wet. And obviously, she was still alive, so she didn't push through with it.
Yeah.
So, ang galing na yun pala yung twist. Na she never pushed through with it because she ended up saving another person. Diba?
Yeah.
So, parang may,
And I like na towards the end, parang they started focusing on that na parang everyone saving each other. Diba? Parang kasing,
True.
diba? Parang typically kasi nakikita lang natin, for example, si magaling na mother. Pangalan niya. Kalimutan ko. Diba? Siya na parang si Dong nag-save sa kanya. So, more or less like the people we see working for her revenge. Parang, okay, I mean, may ganun na kayong relationship, I guess. Kaya tinutulungan niyo siya kasi she sort of helped you out din. Pero to know na she had other people in her life outside of her parang scheme of revenge.
Yeah.
Na parang who's telling her na parang you saved me. Parang it kind of rounds, I mean, parang nalilesen yung blow nung revenge plot
True.
for me. Parang may ganun.
And parang yun din kasi yung hinahanap natin nung una. Kasi like nung una parang
correct.
tinitignan natin si Dong Eun na parang sana ma-realize naman niya na hindi lang everything in isolation, ganun. Na parang as a person, para mabuhay ka, laging may connections eh. And then, yun nga, it's such a great revelation na in the midst of all of this, you're just in your head, hindi mo alam, you're able to save someone na pala. Ang ganda nung ganung pagkakalabas nila nun.
Actually, totoo. Actually, yung conversation, yung questions nga natin from the previous recording, from our previous episode, parang nasagot siya lahat ngayon.
Exactly.
Alam mo,
na parang,
actually,
sinulatan ba natin sila?
Correct. Alam mo, nakinig
Nakinig
sila
ba
sa
kayo?
atin. Hindi kasi, I just wanna say as well na parang dito talaga, si Song Ye-kyo shined. Like, for me, parang kailangan lang talaga niyang
agree.
umarte ng age niya. Huwag na nating ipa-flashback scenes. Kasi magaling na si batang Dong Eun doing that. Siya na lang yun. Pero nung siya na as, wow, the layers, everything na nakulangan tayo dun sa first part dito lumabas. In fairness, Song Ye-kyo.
Actually,
Diba?
lahat sila, parang nag-shine. Like, super favorite ko ngayon si Yeonjin, yung actress na nag-play niya.
Grabe
as in,
siya.
Parang, grabe siya. As in, yung mata talaga niya, parang, damn, she's crazy. Pero, she's not like, alam mo yung nasa loob. May mga taong ganun, pag titignan mo palang may something na parang ang galing ng pagka-depict niya ngayon. And yung slow deterioration of herself.
correct.
Sobrang ganda ng pagkakalatag.
May pace no? Ang ganda.
May pace.
Hindi siya
Galing
pitik.
niya ngayon.
Although magaling siya pumitik. Pero ang
Magaling
galing
din
kasi
naman
na
siya
parang
pumitik.
gradual eh. Una parang pitik.
Correct.
Pitik.
Oo.
Pitik hanggang sa pitik.
Wow.
And then sabog.
Correct.
Alam mo
Oo.
yun?
Grabe
ang
yung
galing.
Yung kinulong na siya, tapos yung bigla siyang nagbalita.
Nag-weather report.
Nag-weather report siya, so umiiyak siya.
Grabe
Parang ako,
yun.
girl! Kinkilabutan ako, shit.
Yeah. Pero ako, ang favorite ko talaga is kahit sa K-drama, Kapag masama kang tao, kulot ka. Kapag nag-a-apologize, diretso ang buhok.
Correct.
Diretso yung buhok niya, sobrang ganda niya, naging kamukha niya si Kim Terry para sa akin. As in, parang, si Kim Terry ba yan?
Oh my God! Exactly! Same thoughts! And speaking of buhok, medyo random. Pero pag pidaw ka, kailangan ganun yung itsura mo. Yung bowl cut na straight.
Bowl
yung
cut.
teacher.
Now
Have you guys been watching so many 70s psycho docus, guys? Kailangan ganun talaga itsura.
Alam na natin kung sinong dapat iwasan, ganyan.
Correct.
Cut. So, iwasan pa rin ang Beatles.
Exactly, the Beatles cut.
Oo.
Like, what the fuck?
Pero sobrang galing nga din talaga ni Yeonjin. Like, wow. Kudos. Sobrang wow siya.
Oo, yeah.
Oh, actually, yung eksena niya yung bigla siyang nag-weather report. Yun yung mga yun yung mga acting na ang sarap artehin. Or aswerte niya. Yung ganong pitik. I mean, it's so difficult to get there.
Yes.
But I can just imagine, like, when you finish, when you are able to achieve that performance, ang sarap ng feeling na umabot ka doon, gets? Parang you reach a certain height na hindi mo ma-explain. So, medyo na-excite ako for her na parang, galing mo, I'm so happy na nagawa mo yan. Parang gano'n.
Correct.
Clap, clap. Gusto ko lang ihirit din na isa sa mga favorite kong plot twist. Yung sa shaman. Yung biglang exorcism chemistry na parang, wow, that was unexpected. But to be fair, nakalatag siya na the shaman experience has been like core, at least to the mom of Yeonjin. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Correct.
Na bigla na lang may ganong eksena. And it was kind of scary, Like,
It
I kind of did a little bit of a research, but it's kind of hard kasi parang in the translation, in the subs, they use the word boljon or something. Where I can't seem to find it. Baka iba yung term na ginagamit in Korean shamanism or something like that.
Huwag mo
But there
sabihin,
is
Monica,
that.
baka may bumisita sa'yo.
But kasi na-curious ako kasi parang may ganun din naman kasi tayong practice, culture, diba? And like, our local culture, yung mga babaylan and stuff like that. So, that really kind of, albularyo. So, like, na-intriga lang ako na may ganun pa silang naisingit na eksena. Nakalatag siya na, kinausap siya ni Dong Eun, diba? The shaman priestess. So, it's as if na, you gotta trick Yeonjin. But you know that the shaman really saw So-hee because she was describing a scene that only Yeonjin and So-hee knew about.
Yeah.
Diba? Because it was like the rooftop conversation. And Dong Eun wasn't there, so she wouldn't be able to describe it to the shaman. So that like really sent me chills. Parang, oh my God, seriously? Like,
and can I just share na parang, di ba parang condemned na sila in reality. Pero dun kasi na-solidify na kahit na in the karmic world, in the spiritual world, cursed na siya.
Correct.
So, kumbaga parang na-round out tuloy yung parang revenge. Na parang hindi lang sa mundo ng tao, pati rin sa mundo ng spirito, cursed na. Yung nahulugan yung nanay sa ulo nung gano'n.
Kasi diba nahulugan pa siya ng
Kinikilabutan ako.
Nahulugan pa siya ng something. Nahulugan siya ng charm.
Yeah. Because basta when you write something in red in Korean, it's really a symbol of death. Kaya sobrang, ang ganda nung buong ano na yun na parang, wow.
I researched that. The charm says something beko. So that means white tiger. And ang white tiger daw, it's a symbolism that it's a charm that is used to exterminate ghosts and evil spirits. So parang nahulog siya sa pak sa mukha ng nanay niya. It's like, okay, you're the evil spirit. You're gone.
Yeah.
When I read up on that, you know how Yeonjin's mom kept on saying na kailangan mo, you have to avoid people whose names have like the 0, the O. And then in the trivia, when I read up on things, it turns out na yung name ng nanay niya, Hong something something. In Hangul, as in yung bilog, yung O, yung parang O. Siya actually more than Myung-o and Dong Eun. She had the most numbers of O's. So lumalabas na yung nanay ni Yeonjin ended up
Yung kailangan
really
niyang
ended
iwasan
up
talaga.
being the person who would be Yeonjin's downfall. Because she is like one of the worst mothers. So,
Yeah.
baka pwede na tayo shift to the next question. Like,
Yes.
this mother, the mom of Yeonjin, also, who also reminded me of Charmaine Buencamino. Sorry.
Kompleto na ang mga buwing kami sa
I
atin.
know! Congrats, guys. Pero,
Ngayon ko lang na-gets. Akala ko nung sinasabi niyo na yon, akala ko si Yeonjin ng Le Seraphim. Anyway, sorry na. Okay, ngayon ko lang na-gets. Go.
Diba,
Okay.
meron siyang look, meron siyang look talaga na, or baka, yun yung nakatatak lang sa akin kasi I got to work with Miss Charmaine in Bliss. Oh, promote.
Oo.
And then, ganun yung character niya, like, that scheming mother type na, alam mo yun, doesn't really love her daughter. It's all for herself and stuff like that. So, every time I would see her, I kept on thinking of Bliss. Because of Miss Charmaine. But anyway,
Hindi
mothers.
ko gets yung journey niya. Bakit siya ganun? Siguro medyo detached na rin ako pag dumadating siya because I just know she's pure evil. Pero anong pinanggagalingan niya? Bakit siya ganun na tao?
They
Ano
never
ba yung
really
lumabas
explained
sa...
it.
Ganun lang siya. Parang
Oo.
tanggapin na lang natin na masama siyang tao. Parang ganun lang.
Parang feeling ko, parang si Yeonjin kasi is pretty much like her mom. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Very, parang lahat ng actions niya is, on the surface level, it looks like, you know, she's taking care of her child or showing love for her child, protecting her child. Pero ultimately, it is about herself. So they kind of share that same characteristic. So baka, I mean, pwede lang natin i-deduce na, baka she also got it from her mother. Generational trauma ba? Alam mo yun?
Oo.
Parang ganun
Pero
na
parang
nga.
I want to know like what the mom, bakit yung mom din ganun? Walang prenisenta sa atin na ganun. Parang narcissist
wala.
lang siya.
Oo,
Ganun lang.
narcissist lang
Okay.
talaga siya.
Like, the most na they explained about her was that she was a housewife. When she was explaining, di ba? Grabe, ang bilis niya mag-isip na parang, I'm gonna hit that man. Ang bilis niyang mag-isip na yun yung, ano
Yung
niya,
buong
way
plano.
out. Diba?
Oo.
Tapos, parang nung presente niya na,
Manslaughter lang to.
parang ganon, and parang, why would they not believe me? I'm just a housewife, blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
Correct. Kasing tao to. I guess evil makes
Grabe.
creates evil. Kaya sila ganun mag-ina.
Oo.
Alam mo yun?
Oo.
Grabe, no? Kasi parang every decision, wala siyang any moral grounding. Parang it is just
True.
like a way out. It is a means to an end.
Yun nga, siguro sa kanya ako pinaka-nakulangan kasi parang wala talagang arc, walang prenisenta sa atin. Bakit ka ganyan? Anong motivation niya? Wala tayong nakitang klarong saan siya nanggagaling. Sa
Or
kanya
could
lang
it
ako medyo
be-
nalilitong character.
Okay.
Yung gusto ko sanang bring up, yung sa nanay naman ni Dong Eun, na si Miss, yung
My God.
kalat, like, sobrang,
I fucking
sa
hate
kanya,
her.
super. In fact, mas napipikon ako sa kanya kaysa kay Yeonjin. But at the same
Same.
time, I try to stop myself kasi like, parang iniisip ko na lang na background-wise, wala din masyadong presenta. Although, klaro that she came from the more impoverished side. Alam mo yon. So, there's probably not a lot of education. Alam mo yon. She was just brought up like,
I mean, but that's not
in
education,
the cruel
man.
world. In the
Alam
cruel
mo yun, and it
world.
doesn't
Alam mo
mean if
yun.
you're poor, you will be like that.
Sorry. I mean, gets added, basta patong-patong na nasa unfortunate side of the world siya. Alam mo yon. So, parang
Oo.
cruelty lang talaga yung alam niya. So, kaya wala
Correct.
talaga siyang alam sa kung paano magmahal ng isang anak or something.
But we don't
Kaya
know her
ganun yung-
background even. Like, I
Yeah,
feel
we
like
don't
ako,
know. Pero parang,
Alam mo yun?
sorry, I know
I
it's
don't
so
wanna-
mean
I don't
because
wanna,
she was,
I don't wanna, pero I don't wanna base her being like that based on her being poor. Parang I feel like, I mean, as much as, for example, we're saying na we don't understand why the Yeonjun's mother is like that. I mean, we can also say na she's like that because, you know, she comes from a privileged side of town
Yeah.
where
Parang may
anything you
ganon.
do is okay.
Well, these are just possibilities. Lalatag ko rin. Pero, ipatapos parang isa rin kasing
sige, go.
latag is, pwede na naman na meron lang din talagang pagkukulang. How do you politically say it correctly, like, parang may mental incapacity siya. 'Di ba? Kaya hindi din, may pagkukulang din talaga sa kung paano siya makipag, what you call that? Sama with people. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it might be the same with Yeonjin's mom, na aside from possibly because nga of growing up wealthy, whatever, na marami siyang hindi pa nalalaman sa mundo, etc. The usual trope, pwede rin na baka meron din siyang problema. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Like pareho silang may something.
Although sa mom ni Dong Eun, it was clear because she said that everybody was telling me to have you aborted but I still chose to have you. May ganun siyang line eh. So parang dun yung klaro sa akin na, you know, parang meron siyang konting ano kay Dong Eun na, oy, tinuloy kita, binuhay pa rin kita kahit everybody was telling me not to. So dapat, anything I want, and right now, what I want is money all throughout my life, all I want is money, ibigay mo yun sa akin. So parang sa akin, mas klaro yung ganung klaseng arc nung mom ni Dong Eun, as opposed nga dun sa mom ni Yeonjin na saan siya nanggagaling.
Zero talaga.
So parang, kaya clear din yung pagka-downfall niya na parang, I mean, parang siguro mas klaro din sa akin yung connection na biglang, 'di ba, yung alcohol abuse nung mom, because like, you know, parang that's all she could turn to na. And then 'di ba, kung sino-sino mga boyfriend niya, parang bigla na lang may batang boyfriend. Yung mga ganun, parang she's just doing what she can to just go on and whatever. And then at the back of her head, hindi yung anak ko may utang na loob yan sa akin kasi binuhay ko siya eh. Parang may ganun siyang arc or motivation.
Correct. Grabe. Ako, I hate her, and I feeling ko kasi may preference din in terms of why I hate her so much. Kasi, number one, she's a hateable character. And number two, I just feel like how the character was interpreted on screen is just a little bit too much. Hasn't it? Parang like kung last time pinag-uusapan natin how like a lot of the characters are kind of caricatures na. For me, she's just like
siya
the caricature of the caricatures.
Correct.
Grabe talaga yung parang like...
Correct.
So naiinis ako kasi pag pinapanood ko siya, hindi na tuloy ako naiinis sa kanya. Naiinis ako dun sa acting.
Sa atake.
Sa atake. Na parang like, I'm not interested in her story anymore because I'm just like, all this screaming and kabalahuraan is being shoved into my face. Alam mo yun? Tapos, and at the same time, with not a lot of background. Alam mo yun? Parang, bakit ganyan ka kumain? Bakit ganyan ka? Nakataas yung paa mo? Bakit ka lasing? Alam mo yun? I mean, pwede naman natin kasing i-assume, but it was just a little bit too much na it's just everything I see is just that and nothing else.
Actually, now that you brought that up, I mean, wala lang. Parang, actually, same sila ni Jaejun sa akin eh. Yung sigaw na lang ng sigaw. Sabi ko kay, parang pinag-usapan na naman ng husband ko, ganyan ba dapat magalit? Sigaw lang ng sigaw? Lahat na lang sila dito sigaw ng sigaw. Kaya medyo detached din ako watching on some of those parts. Pero sa akin, parang medyo clear naman sa akin yung dun sa mom. Pero yun nga, agreed din na, ba yan? Basta silang dalawa ni Jaejun. Sigaw lang sila na sigaw. Even si anong pangalan ni flight stewardess, mahilig din siya sumigaw.
Mahilig din siya sumigaw.
Nawalan siya ng vocal cords.
Parang, parang natatawa ko dun, nung wala na siyang vocal cords, pero nung sumisigaw siya, bakit wala siyang pain? Ba't kinakaya pa niya? Kasi dapat pumutok na yun eh, di ba? Alam mo yun? Nakikita mo sa mukha niya na sumisigaw talaga siya.
Totoo.
Gago to.
Oo, so nakakatawa kasi nung wala na siyang boses, meron pa rin siyang subtitles. Subtitles pa rin siya.
Because we need to give a voice for those who cannot speak.
Tama ka
dapat ganon.
Although I wonder though, with the sigaw-sigawan, I wonder if it's like a cultural thing. Kasi naalala ko lang, nung pinapanood ko yung Sky Castle, tapos yung nanay ko, nakikinood at the beginning eh. And then she kept on complaining, bakit ba ganito itong mga Koreano? Sigaw sila ng sigaw, parang ganon. Na hindi ko masyado napansin, pero nagigets ko kung ano yung sinasabi niya. Na,
correct.
Alam mo yon, I guess maybe may ganun sila as a culture na masigaw din sila. So, baka kaya sigaw sila ng sigaw.
Tsaka may way sila of may way sila of yelling din. Yung parang, di ba yung parang from nothing, tapos biglang,
yun nga, 0 to 100.
parang
lagi.
ganon. Oo.
Parang hindi siya nagpo-progress, kaya parang nakaka-jar.
Feeling ko poor acting choices lang talaga. Kasi tingnan naman natin si Yeonjin, kita naman natin yung mga levelings niya. I mean,
Totoo
masigaw
naman.
din si Yeonjin Masigaw
correct.
din siya, pero makikita din natin medyo may times din na nate-temper niya eh.
Oo nga,
Kaya niya
totoo.
timplahin eh.
Alam mo yung magandang sigaw niya, yung na-discover na niya yung nanay niya. Yung pinapunta siya ni Dong Eun, nung nag-exchange na sila, nung
Name tag.
Nung name tag. Tapos, di ba, dumating siya, umalis na si Dong Eun. Tapos, nung lumapat siya sa nanay niya, tapos, hinawakan niya nanay niya, tapos, humigaw siya. Yun, nandun siya sa gilid, na parang, girl. Grabe yun. Yun talagang parang, ang daming layers of meaning dun sa sigaw na yun, na parang, betrayal, anger, alam mo yun. Ang galing lang talaga niya actress. As
in fairness nga
galing
talaga.
She is. Or kahit si Sarah masigaw din eh. Although yung
Actually,
sigaw
si
niya,
Sarah
I don't know.
din.
Yung sa kanya, she kind of got it easy in a way because she was portraying a junkie and
To be fair, hindi na marijuana ito. May pinakita na sila.
Correct.
Okay.
May needle
Narinig ba
na.
nila na tayo?
At hindi lang marijuana ang in-address. Parang they kind of went bolder, di ba? Sinasabi nga natin, first time natin makakita ng Korean boobs. On screen.
Yes. Now
Like,
it's Korean
Oh, yeah.
masturbation.
this is
Correct.
Netflix for you.
Oo nga.
Like, okay, kudos.
Can I just share though? That was such a fucked up scene.
Which
As
one?
in-
Yung nag-masturbate siya?
Oo,
Kay Jesus?
not even the masturbation part. It's all these people who received that text where she is, and they're all there
Tapos
taking
biglang
videos.
Correct!
Diba? Parang, ito mga
Hindi
to.
ko in-expect nga yun. Parang, bakit ganun yung reveal?
Pero parang, ang nakita ko lang kasi parang medyo ganun talaga sila as a culture. 'Di ba? Mahilig talaga silang magkuha-kuha ng videos and all of that. Parang kaya nga sabi nila, like the Korean phones, talagang laging may tunog talaga when you're taking a photo
Tama.
or video, kahit na
Like the
naka-silent.
Japanese,
Kasi
oo.
nga, madami sa kanilang mga who are doing it like in a discreet way, in a bad way, ganun. So, feeling ko, parang as a culture, ganun sila. Ewan ko, sa mga napapanood ko din sa mga reality, kapag may mga parang nakatago yung mga phone, tas may kukunan, mga ganun. So, I guess, ganun
Ito
talaga
nakalabas
sila as a
eh.
culture.
Or maybe we can see it, you know how we always say na, grab, ang intense ng cancel culture nila. And obviously, because there was like that, nakita nila sa phones that something was going on, and they knew that it's a cancelable act. Like, it's
Exactly.
something that they actually live for. That's why they rushed there and like took videos off so that they can post it on social media so that they can cancel that person.
Yeah.
Well, may unting ganun din tayo. Probably not as harsh, but you know how kunyari may ma-aksidente or something. Yung mga
Correct.
Pinoy, automatic rush na, tititig. Alam mo yun?
O, titingin tayo, pero we won't take videos.
Correct.
Ay,
do
hindi,
we?
we do.
Ako-
We do.
Pero,
Why do you think
siguro
we have
with-
sometimes we have footage of cam footage of accidents or something that's shown on Twitter and stuff like that? Probably not as much as them. Pero
Oo,
parang we still
siguro.
do. I think we still have.
O kasi,
Again,
ano
cloud
eh,
chasing mentality.
mas madali kasi mag-upload doon ng picture.
Mas mabilis ang internet.
Dito, data yun eh.
Or ang iniisip kasi baka pwede ko tong ibenta.
Oh,
So,
Oo,
save
actually,
muna nila
baka
yung
maraming
footage
ganun.
so that they can sell it to the news outlet
oh, that's
or
true.
whatever.
In Korea talagang they could sell it for high. So, in
Diba?
fairness naman sa kanila. Protected
Lalo
by
kung
laws.
may exclusive eh.
Correct.
Correct.
Pag-usapan din natin si mommy na na best friend ni Dong Eun.
Yes, of course. Kung may mga
Yonam.
bad mothers, meron din namang, as the show also mentioned, good mothers. And sila yung dapat nating itaguyod. And not just
The
her,
ones-
pati rin yung sinave niya, di ba? I mean, in a way, good mother din.
Yeah.
Oo.
The
But anyway,
landlord.
going back to
Yeah.
Yonam.
Grabe siya. As in, sobra akong sa kanya ako pinaka naiyak. Lalo na nung sinabi ni Dong Eun sa kanya dun sa, was it a letter na parang, I want you to be the cheerful person that you are. Na parang kasi, di ba yung letter niya, nung umalis yung anak niya, is that, sabi niya kay Miss Laura, wow, I'm giving you my joy. Di ba parang yun yung letter
Oo.
niya. Tapos noon na parang pinoint out sa kanya ni Dong Eun na, you, yourself, are a cheerful person. May ganon na parang,
Yeah.
Girl, wala lang. Sobrang anong-ano ko sa kanya. Dalang-dala ako sa story niya.
Yeah.
Naiyak ako. I love her.
Alam mo, ang galing-galing din nitong actress na to.
She
As
is.
in,
She
super.
is.
Parang, I mean, I really loved yung namatay na yung husband niya. And then, she had these tears, but you're not quite sure what those tears meant.
Correct.
Alam mo yun, parang alam mo na it's
No.
also pain from his death, and then at the same time, it's also like happiness na wala na yung salot na yun sa buhay niya, and she can live like a peaceful life, and it's just all these emotions just swirling around her. Sobrang ganda nun, yung nasa ospital siya,
Isa
tapos
pa
nasa sahig
yun.
na siya.
True.
Wow!
Tapos nasa nag-walling siya.
Nag-walling
Pero ang
siya.
sarap din yun. Ang sarap
Very
ng eksena
effective
din
walling.
yun. Relief, yung pinaka na feel ko sa mga mata niya. Actually, hindi sa mata, sa mouth niya. Kasi
Oo.
parang she was kind of smiling eh.
She was.
Parang
She
na-feel
was
ko na
smiling.
it was more of a relief. Or
Oo.
parang pwede rin, parang she was like battling herself. It felt like she wanted to laugh and cry for joy.
Oo.
But was also trying to stop herself because parang may emotions na, should I be doing this now? Someone just died. My husband just died. Parang may ganun.
Oo.
Ang daming nakapack dun sa eksenang yon sa mukha niya. Sa mga luhang
Sobrang
yon.
galing.
Na ang galing-galing. Ang sarap. Ang sarap panoorin at nakakaingit din.
yung na-pick up ko dun, and yung succeeding scene din na yung parang, yung nasa boat na siya, tapos parang meron silang ceremony. And I don't know if it's also because she's like a battered wife, may battered wife syndrome siya, na parang she did feel a bit of sadness for him passing away. Because husband pa rin niya.
Exactly.
And may ganun pa rin parang like attachment, alam mo yun, to him. But at the same time, yun nga, may relief pa din. But yun nga, parang yun yung forces of like, just like swirling around her. Pero, ayun nga, parang at the end of the day, parang she felt, anong sabi niya? Ang ganda nung sinabi niya eh. Yung parang like, I don't forgive you. Parang may sinabi siyang ganun, di ba? I can't forgive you.
She said, ang naalala ko lang, I hope you rot in this ocean.
Yes.
Or something like that.
I hope you rot in this ocean. So, kumbaga parang ano yun, parang like, solid end na to all that swirling emotion. Ano mo yun?
And it's also very, pinag-usapan natin yun sa battered wife syndrome. Kasi, ganun naman talaga yun eh. That's why it becomes such a twisted relationship because it's the person you love. Minahal pa rin talaga niya yun kahit ganun.
Yeah.
Wow, bumabalik ako, diba? Sa, nung time na nagsabi si Lenny, diba, that she was gonna run for president. That was kind of her speech as well, na para tayong mga asawa na matagal nang inaabuso. At ngayon na yung time. Parang may ganun eh. Kaya parang, grabe, damang-dama ko. Wala lang.
Oh,
correct.
Grabe.
As a nation, wow, from wife to nation.
It makes so much
Ang galing
sense,
kasi
though.
parang it's
Diba?
not out
Ganun
of, and
yun
it's
eh.
not even out of like hate. It's still actually out of love. Kasi like, diba, her Yonam speech actually started with, nung goodbye speech nga, parang, look, I'm wearing the dress you gave me. I'm sorry we're not going to the Philippines. We're not gonna eat mangoes.
Eat mangoes.
Alam mo yung mangoes as usual.
Correct.
Parang may may attachment pa rin. Alam mo yun.
Oo.
Pero
Kasi
may
diba,
final
parang yung
blow.
sabi natin sa part 1 na hindi naman talaga niya iiwan yung asawa niya hanggat di niya nakitang sinaktan na yung anak eh. Yun naman yung naging sa kanya, click sa kanya na, yung anak ko na. Pero kapag siya lang, tatanggapin lang naman niya.
Correct. I mean, she has stayed with him for so long, so there has to be like a very deep connection with him pa din. Kasi she could have left.
Well, there was
Alam mo
also
yun.
fear.
Yes.
Pero yun nga,
One of the
may
bigger
fear nga
reason
din.
is like she knows kasi that if she would do something, she will hurt the child. So that's why she really super. Na and speaking of the husband, I'm so relieved that they didn't end up killing him. I mean, it was Yeonjin's mom who ended up killing him.
Totoo.
Kasi diba, that was one of kasi isa yun sa mga tanong natin ng first part. Parang shit, I mean, we do want to kill the husband, but do we want them to kill the husband? Alam mo yun? Ang dami nating moral questioning. So I'm glad that it was done for them. Alam mo yun?
Exactly. Kasi siya rin naman, tatay pa rin yun ng anak niya. Paano rin niya harapin yung anak niya at sabihin yun, diba? So that was a really good turn of events.
Yeah. True. That was probably the best turn of events, if you think about it. Because at least there's no blood in their hands. It just unfolded. Which is basically, actually, if you think about it, itong revenge plot ni Dong Eun, parang swinerte lang din siya. Kasi, hindi ko alam kung plinano niya talaga yon na, malamang plinano niya talaga yon because nga of that, I mean, as explained then by the Go metaphor, the game Go.
Correct.
Kasi it's like, linatag niya lang yung pieces eh. Tapos, sila din yung nagsipagsira sa sarili nila. Alam mo yun?
Yeah. Didn't Dong Eun say something to that effect as well, na parang, I didn't really have to do much. Parang yun nga, naglatag lang siya, tas sila din na nag-ano. Because, you know, ganun nga sila kay evil na mga tao eh. Kaya na nila mga sarili nila.
And also, not just the evilness, they're also very predictable. I mean, they haven't changed ever since high school. Who they were before, ayun pa rin sila ngayon. So, I mean, as someone who has observed them for so long and like really dedicated her life figuring these people out. Parang nagets na niya towards the end kung anong gagawin niya.
How they would react. Tsaka parang I mean, nandun given na yung dirt nila Like, Yeonjin killed people. Like, Sarah is an addict. Alam mo yun? Parang, these are things that you don't have to figure out. They're already facts. So, it's like all about how
revealing
to
them.
How
revealing
to use it.
Them. Exactly. Oo. Feeling ko may mga pinlot siyang key points. Pero the rest of them, like for example, si Cocaine Girl. Cocaine Girl talaga. Anong pangalan niya?
Si Sarah.
Si Sarah. Like for example, Sarah stabbing
Correct! The pencil.
Chenes.
Oo. Si Yejong.
Yejong. Sarah stabbing Yejong with a Stedler pencil because she's an artist.
She's an artist.
It has to be a Stedler pencil.
It has to be that blue pencil.
Correct. On the neck. I don't think she planned that out. But she knew that was gonna happen. Nakakatawa yung scene prior to that. Yung sinend niya yung video kay Jun. Parang, katabi mo lang. Naglabas siya ng iPad. Jaejun.
Correct.
iPad nilabas niya, hindi natin napansin na meron siyang sinend na video.
Correct. Ano ba?
May slinide siya sa gilid. Pinakita na ba yun?
Oo, pero ang laki nun habang nagsasalita siya parang tak,
send.
Pero grabe no, ang dami nilang dirt sa sarili na sa isa't isa.
Right. And I guess probably that's why they're still friends. Because they need to protect all those secrets. Kung hindi sila magkakaibigan, wala silang way to like control each other. Ano mo yun?
Ensure na it's kept there forever.
Yes.
Actually.
Within their
So, bakit tayo friends, guys?
bowels of evil. Ano ba mga secrets ang meron
Hindi naman tayo evil. Sabi nga natin, evil begets evil. Tayo din mga good people.
I think
good
tayo
people.
pretty begets pretty.
Umoo kayo.
Kundi, blackmail ko kayo.
Bully pala, bully.
Kundi, ilalabas ko mga selfie ninyo. What?
Wag. Yung mga payat pa ako, selfie.
Ang sakit. Sandali.
Masakit.
Okay.
So, ayun na nga. So, grabe. Sorry. Taon-taon pa rin ako dun sa funeral na yun. As in, what a shit show. Kung ako
What a shit show.
Diba? Kung ako
Sa
yung
harap pa
family
talaga ng journalist.
Tapos,
yung tumapat sila sa door, kung saan sila makukuha ng picture.
Correct. Totoo yan.
Tapos, I swear, tapos parang sorry, pero ang weird pa na naramdaman ko, na feel ko yung family ni Myung-oh. I'm sure naman they don't know whatever it is that's going on between that group. Pero putangin na, lamay ito ng anak ko, alam mo yun?
Correct.
Diba ngayon naglilinis siya ng dugo after?
Diba?
Parang, bakit dito pa talaga sila habang may lamay? Habang naglilinis siya ng dugo. Siya pa talaga pinaglinis ng dugo. Wala ba tayong like government people to do that? Like it's blood. Cleaners. Alam mo yun?
Siya pa talaga, actually.
Oo nga, nasa ng mga kapulisan.
Diba? Nag-ano siya dun. Nakakainis.
Kaloka.
But anyway, so everything went down. Kanya-kanyang sad endings for like the bullies. What did you think of the ending. Like, was it the quote-unquote happy ending that you wanted, that we wanted for Dong Eun and all of the rest of the characters?
Ako sobra akong satisfied sa ending, lalo na yung kay Yeonjin. Like, akala ko kasi si Yeonjin could get away with shit pa rin eh. Akala ko magkakaroon na tayong kahit ganong konting angle. But she was, yung talagang nung iniwan na siya nung asawa niya, as in, dun talaga ako parang, yes! Yes, she deserves to be alone. This person does not deserve anything. Everything that happened to her, sobra akong satisfied talaga sa mga nangyari sa kanya. Kasi, nung ano pa lang, kasi di ba parang may part pa na sinasabi ng husband niya na hindi ko pa sure kung i-divorce kita. Hindi ko, parang may mga ganun pa silang mga ano.
Binigyan siya ng maraming chances.
Right? So, I really thought na may ano pa, parang at the end of it all, hindi. Mayaman pa rin siya. She could still get away with shit.
Yeah.
But no, she had the ending she deserved. I'm super satisfied with what happened to her.
I want to commend that husband, si Doyoung. Like, it takes a lot. I mean, it took a while. Hindi siya immediate, I'm gonna divorce you.
Correct.
Ang ganda ng, ang realistic, I guess, ng
Especially with the status because he's
yeah,
CEO.
ng pag-discern niya on what to do. Like, I was proud of him. Is that a good word? Alam mo yon? Kasi hindi siya yung typical, you suck, I'm gonna leave you. Alam mo yon? Hindi siya ganun. So, yun lang naman.
Kaya parang, ang ganda din kasi akala ko medyo loveless marriage sila of some sort. They're just with each other for appearance show and for like the lust, apparently the sex is good or something.
Yeah.
But like, yung part na yun, as in yung buong time na yun na parang yung mga nagde-decide ng ganun yung husband niya. Alam mo na ano parang binibigyan niya, hindi, baka kaya pa nito. Hindi yung asawa ko, baka may chance pa. Nagbigay siya ng nagbigay hanggang sa naubos na siya and dun na lang siya parang nag-decide umalis. Sobrang gustong-gusto ko yung yung buong story ni husband actually.
Yeah.
Parang feeling ko on his end, parang, I mean, he knew about all the bullying na by this point, but I feel like maybe he thought that she could have changed.
Yeah,
parang,
exactly.
I think he was hoping for that too.
Oo,
Yes.
na parang she could have changed heart, alam mo yun, or even changed for him and their child.
And their child,
Alam
exactly.
mo yun? I mean, if you
I
can't do
think
it for
he
them,
was-
do it for us. Alam
Yeah,
mo
I
yun?
think he was doing it all for the daughter actually.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
like,
Oo,
ang galing,
wawan siya ng nanay
talagang
eh.
pinaglaban niya kahit na alam niya na hindi niya anak yun. Parang
Oo.
siya yung priority niya all throughout. So, he was probably actually doing it for the kid.
Father of the year.
Father of the
Award.
year. In
Yes.
fairness.
Except for the fact that
Construction.
he fucking murdered, I mean, gets ko naman, but could have gone that
kanya-kanyang dirt.
direction.
Ibang conversation na yon. It's a longer conversation, but
Yeah.
people
Ako,
do things.
for me, same lang din naman, very satisfying, super. And I feel like, kasi nung una natin pinag-usapan to, parang ang dami nating moral questions about the show. Alam mo yun, na parang, tama ba itong pinopromote nila? Alam mo yun, parang may mga ganun tayong usapan, di ba? Parang, is this
Correct.
really the way to go? And I think this conversation was, a lot of people also had the same thoughts. Kasi parang, in social media, kasi parang may mga ganung, nakikita ko mga usap-usapan, or mga articles about it. And I feel like, weirdly enough, na-satisfy ng part 2 yung questions ko na yun. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Especially that conversation ni Lee Do-yoon. Si Lee Do-yoon ata nagsabi nun, I forget. Na parang, for some people, forgiveness is enough. Alam mo yun? They can move on with their lives by just forgiving the people who've hurt them and the people who hurt their loved ones. But for some people, that's not enough. Alam mo yun? Kailangan talaga ng some form of more active involvement in that, and that is revenge for them. And I don't know, but when that was mentioned, yung scene na yun, nung nangyari siya, it just really grounded the whole story for me. Kasi dati parang it's all up there na parang like, syempre meron din akong mga like moral leanings, and moral leanings talaga. Pero meron din akong parang
Hesitations. And,
not hesitation, but meron din akong parang moral standards, alam mo yun. Pero parang nung nilatag nila yun na parang, okay, parang nag-open up din yung mundo ko dun sa possibility na yun for other people. Kaya siya satisfying for me. Kasi yung emotions ko from season 1, nabigyan niya ng parang conclusion na
closure.
Na-close niya yung questions na yun for me. And na-accept ko naman. Oo. So parang, I mean, I feel like it was just written, that part, and I guess the whole of part 2 was just written, nalatag siya so well na parang each of the story ng mga tao na seeking revenge was given a great amount of weight na nabigyan niya ng whole meaning yung sinabi nga ni Lee Do-yeon na yun na, I mean, it's just like some people can't move on with their lives without having to redeem themselves, find vindication, seek revenge. So parang okay, yun yung satisfaction ko nanggagaling.
Correct. And parang, and all of them were given like their due closures and endings or beginnings. Parang ganon. Wala tayong na-feel na medyo in-overlook na character.
Correct.
And naalala ko lang, gusto ko rin sabihin na anong pangalan ni Mother Best Friend?
Yeonam.
Ayun, gusto ko lang din i-point out na si Yeonam ay nag-open ng Banchan restaurant.
Girl! Yes! Isip ko talaga nun, lumabas yun. It's a fucking sign. It's time to put up a Banchan restaurant in Manila.
Correct.
Let's do it.
Na hindi grocery, like an
hindi
actual...
grocery, like fresh.
Banchan restaurant lang talaga.
Oo.
Diba? Meron siyang ganon. Pero
Banchan
isang text lang, correct.
Oo, Banchan
isang text lang ni Dong Eun, she was like, it's time for me to put on my red lipstick and grr. Parang ganon.
Ganda nun.
Siguro yung happy ending, in terms of like, finally concluding what Dong Eun wanted for so long. And I actually really loved it until that part na, because she wanted to die. I actually love that part that they included that she wanted to die kasi for her tapos na yung mission niya in life. Pero tinigil siya ng nanay ni Yojong ni LDH Lee Do-yeon kasi para don't, because if you die my son will die, parang ganon. Na dun, syempre, kasi the entire time pinapasa, I kept on thinking, well, everything was unfolding. I kept on thinking about his problem also, diba?
Correct.
Paano siya mag-i-end? They can't just like, although medyo na-accept ko na lang din kasi mahilig din ang K-drama na magbukas ng something tas walang conclusion, alam mo yun?
Oo.
Pero up till the end, I was like waiting for like that something to conclude his story. And then I didn't expect na may ganun. Na suddenly, it ended kasi na they end up like, I don't know, a Robin Hood and Merry Men kind of group of something na out seeking revenge for
ano pala to?
whoever.
Taxi driver pala to, guys.
Taxi driver pala siya, diba? Ito pala yung origin story ng taxi driver.
Correct.
Hindi ko yun in-expect. But I liked it up to that. I liked that bit that they added na. Kasi they did agree that sila na, alam mo yon, they're in a relationship. Silang dalawa ni Dong Eun, siya ni Yojong. Tapos parang na-unfairan ako nung akala ko patapos na parang, bakit yung kwento lang niya yung tinapos? Paano siya? Paano si Guy? So it turns out na they continued the plotting pa rin na where they didn't have to end it. It's an open ending show.
Part 3.
There is a debate about that kung kailangan pa ba ng part 3. But
masyadong magaling yung kontrabida ni Lee Do-yeon para hindi mag-part 3 eh. Ang galing masyado ng actor na yun.
Magaling nga siya na actor.
Dun sa mga sandaling moments na lumabas siya. Magaling siya mag-gel ng buhok.
Pero slightly na-disturb lang ako. Actually, wait, baka kailangan ko na i-retract. Kasi nung pinapanood ko siya, slightly na-disturb ako na, okay, so magpapatuloy ang kwento nila with Yeonam, the mother, na they will still continue doing their revengeful plotting lives. In a way, parang happy na ako na everything was over. Alam mo yun? Parang I was excited for them that they can finally move on from that. But, I don't know. I was slightly dissatisfied lang na they will still keep on seeking for revenge. Parang ganon. Parang may vengeful pa rin yung ano nila. Ang gusto ko kasi parang contentment na. Yun yung hinuhope ko na ending.
Yeah.
So, yun lang naman.
Makes
But then
sense.
when you pointed out na para lang pala tong Taxi Driver, I enjoy Taxi Driver. So now, I'm questioning myself.
Gusto ko lang din sabihin dun sa scene na yun ni Dong Eun. Actually, medyo na-off lang ako dun kay Mother. Paano nalaman ni Mother? Yung bigla na lang siyang tumakbo sa rooftop.
Oo nga
Parang yung biglang nalaman na parang,
na nandun siya.
Help! Help! Don't do that, my son will die!
Inexplain ng sinabi niya, kunento ng nanay
How
ni
she
Sohee.
know na nandun siya sa bubong?
Ewan ko.
And at that exact moment,
Diba?
I
nung
know,
parang
right?
patalon na Tapos biglang nandun siya parang, ha?
Mother of the Year.
Correct.
Okay, medyo na-excite ako doon kung magkaka-part 3 sila. Kasi ang galing talaga nung villain nung ni Do yun.
Si Best
Yoyo.
Angel.
Si Best
Correct.
Angel.
So,
Yung
yun
moment
pala
na
dapat
nandun siya sa may likod siya ng fence. Yung nag-uusap
Correct,
sila. Tapos yung umalis na, yung tinawag na si, nung umalis na si Yojong, tapos parang meron siyang look na parang, hindi yung maintindihan kung natatawa siya. Wow.
Anthony Hopkins siya Silence of
Correct.
the Lambs.
Gusto ko Anthony Hopkins
Correct.
na to.
Diba? Yun naman talaga Yun din ang kwento niya
Correct. Very interesting do kasi kung magkaka-part 3 sila, isa lang siya Parang ang complicated kasi ng The Glory as we know now. Kasi ang daming characters involved in her bullying. So parang kumbaga ang complex nung plottings na kailangan niyang gawin. But this is just one guy. Paano?
Well, in the case,
We'll see.
in fairness to the writing of this one, the first and second Glory, because at first we thought it was, in a way, a linear kind of vengeance plot. Pero ang dami pa lang niyang
Biglang
layers.
naging
Oo.
So, I mean, they started it. So, if they decide to do a part 3, focusing on that storyline, I'm sure, I'm more than confident that they're capable of adding other layers. Alam mo yun?
Isn't LDH enlisting this year as well?
I think so. Okay, so wala nang part 3. Check.
Baka wala.
Baka
Kasi
nag-shoot
parang
na siya.
mag-enlist siya, diba?
Or baka in a
Alam ko
year
nga
and a half.
mag-enlist siya. Tapos may
Baka
isa
na-start
may
na
isa
nila.
siyang show coming.
Ay, may
I
show
don't
pa siyang isa.
know. But, sige, I was supposed to ask if you like the first or second part better. Ito na lang yung final question ko. Would you prefer na meron ngang part 3 or okay lang na wala na?
Oo. Bitin! Sobrang bitin! Nag-invest na. Sorry, yung villain kasi ang galing. Sobra talaga. Hook ko siya. Gusto ko siyang panoorin kasi gusto kong panoorin yung guy na yun. Yun lang. Yun lang yung hook ko. Kaya yes for part 3.
Ako, okay na ako. Ayoko na i-subject yung sarili ko sa ganyang daming violence and gore. So, okay na ako dito. So, ewan ko lang.
Siguro.
Pero, alam mo yun, LDH pa rin yan. Kung may part 3, siguro papanoorin ko pa rin. But, yeah.
Totoo naman.
Ikaw?
Pero yeah, right now, I would say, ayoko na. I mean, I really enjoy Taxi Driver. But what I like about it is that it's episodic lang. It's like first 1-2 episodes, tapos na yung kwento.
Done.
So,
Yeah.
every time I watch Taxi Driver, both the first and the second, I always have long breaks in between. Because I can't handle it. And like, in a way, baka, because The Glory, technically it's one series that they like chopped into 2 lang. I'm actually grateful that they split it into 2 para there's a bit of like yun, may hinga in between because it's so heavy. So I don't know, but now that it's over, and then if I'm gonna think about another season na alam mo yun, I have to brace myself for kung if they do a split parts again, another 8 episodes dire-diretso and then another 8. Parang di ko kaya. I can deal with Taxi Driver na tig-2, tig-3. Pero parang di ko na ata kaya na isa pang buo ulit.
Correct.
Tama naman.
Unless special. So, gawin na lang 3 episode special. Sure, I'll watch it.
Baka pwede, kasi nalatag na rin naman nila yung some parts of his story in 1 and 2 So, kumbaga parang yung 3, if we're gonna follow, parang medyo concluding na lang siya. Yun lang. Hindi, kasi parang feeling ko necessary na yung mga assumptions ko. We'll just find out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sige. Okay, so that was our episode on The Glory Part 2. And as always, we end our episode with a game. And I think for this one, since medyo may happy endings naman, we can go back to our more cheerful games. Kasi last time, kumanta lang kami ng row, row, row your boat.
Uy, cheerful naman yung ginawa natin.
Well,
Di ba
okay.
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star?
Twinkle, Twinkle pala. Oh,
Oo.
sorry. So, dati may Twinkle, Twinkle. This time, may kanta pa rin. But this time, it's called Mandu. Mandu, Mandu, Mandu.
Nakakagutom.
Our game for this app is called the Mandu game. So, how do we play this? I'll read it na lang. I'm here to explain. Okay, first, everyone holds up both hands and shape it like a mandu. So, pakita nyo guys. Para siyang chicken. Cheka. Ano yung cheka?
Grabe, tropang trumpo.
Di ba ganun yung chicken? Yung ba?
Mga girl, grabe. Parang mid-2000s pa yun. Nag-evolve na siya. Michael V.
Odi Alcacid. Okay, go.
Pero nag-gets nyo, di ba? Okay, so naka-mandu position na tayo. Naka-manduhans na tayo. So, by turns, we do the chant, yung mandu, 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 mandu. At the end of the chant, the player, in turn, will have to say a number that's a multiple of 5. Pero, max 30 lang tayo. Kasi, we are 3 players times 10, so 30. So, pwede natin sabihin yung numbers na 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ngayon, at the end of the chant, when we say the number, kailangan each of us will have a close or open hand. We close or open our mandus. Tapos basically, kung kunwari sinabi ko, mandu, 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 10. Tapos, yung addition, pag in-add natin lahat ng open hands is just 2 hands or basically 10 fingers, I win. Or at least I get to remove 1 hand na lang. And then, kung mali, it's the next player's turn. So, paunahan tong maubos ng hands. And then, kung sino matira, siya yung talo. So, nag-gets niyo ba yun?
Okay.
GG.
Okay. I guess this is like best experience in YouTube. So, come on guys. Subscribe na rin kayo sa aming YouTube channel.
Yes.
Para mapanood nyo ang napaka-fun at nakakagutom na game called Mandu.
Pwede
Shall
itong
we
drinking
begin?
game actually. Okay, go.
Drinking game nga siya.
Oh, now we know.
Well, umiinom ka rin naman, di ba? Ako kape nga lang. Pero,
Kaya nga parang,
Uminom din ako.
kami ni Pia hindi effective dito, I think.
so, let's start the Mandu game. I can begin, and then followed by Pia, and then Trency. Oh, and by the way, pikit tayo since alam mo naman internet, may lag, whatever. So, basta, pikit na lang kayo para walang cheating.
Okay.
Jonghan.
Trust each other na lang. Trust.
Okay,
I trust
game?
and love you.
5,
Okay.
6, 7, 8. Mandu, 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 10.
Oh, you got it!
You got
I
it!
got
Yeah, I
it 10!
put one
Okay,
up.
one hand down. Okay.
Okay.
Pia's turn.
Okay. Mandu, 15.
Oh, 15! In fairness. Okay.
Okay.
Next turn.
Okay. Mandu, 10. God damn it.
Sorry.
Wala, ako lang
it's just
nagbukas.
5.
Okay, go.
Okay, my turn. Okay, Mandu, 5.
Wow!
Hindi. Nahol. Pero feeling ko, tatanggapin na lang yun. Kasi medyo na-delay yung reaction ko. Can we adjust the game? Kasi nakapikit naman tayo.
Go.
Kasi alam na natin more or less kung ano yung ilalabas ng isa't isa. Nakapikit naman tayo. So, pwedeng pagkasabi nung last mandu, saka magbubukas. Tapos yung person na siya yung assigned for that round, sabihin niya yung number. Tapos saka magre-reveal. Gets niyo ba?
Pero, dun nga talaga sa last Mandu, dapat nagbubukas ng hand, di ba?
Ako dun sa number.
Bago pa magsabi ng number. Bakit sa number? Eh di syempre alam mo na.
Dapat sabay! Kaya pala!
Ako pala yung tanga!
Dapat sabay!
Madaya ka pala
Alam ko sa
eh!
number. Okay.
Kaya naman pala nade-delay siya nung nag-5 si Himon. 5 na yun, biglang nagbukas ng isa eh.
Kaya pala!
Jonghan ka! Ikaw si Jonghan!
So, guys,
Sharer!
Hindi, partida ako yung talo.
Kasi nga, ikaw si Jonghan!
I would like to blame the makers of Jinro Grapefruit Soda. Pero
Okay.
nanalo ka pa rin once sa pandadaya niya. Okay.
naiyak ako! Okay,
Sige, go Pia!
Okay, go.
Mandu, 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 0. Okay.
Okay.
Kaya pala, Trenzy!
Akala ko din talaga delayed lang
Wala.
tayo sa kanya kasi
Wala.
tayong dalawang
Oo
mon
nga.
sabay tayo eh.
Kaya nga eh. Wala pala
pala
talagang lag, guys.
Ako pala
Mali
yun.
lang yung naintindiyang instruction.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Mandu, 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 10. Yeah!
Bakit tinalo pa siya? Okay.
Hindi,
isang
one hand,
kamay na
one,
lang.
oh,
One
isang
hand.
kamay na lang. Okay. Lapit na, malapit
Ay,
na. Go,
Advertise.
Pia.
Shit, puta yung pusa ko. Sorry. Inakita niya ako sa likod. Akala ko na-curse na ako na shaman. Okay, go.
Mandu, 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 5.
10.
Mandu, 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 5. Yay! Umabot pa ako!
Nanalo pa yung cheater. Sige.
Hindi ako cheater, tanga ako. Magkaiba yun.
Okay lang. Ang mga mababuting kalooban tulad ko, kami ang mga magpe-prevail sa dulo. Maghanda kayo sa revenge ko. Wow!
And that is our episode for the Glory Part 2. Thank you everyone for listening and I hope you enjoyed our
Huwag ninyong kalabain ng Mandu si Trenzy.
Yes.
Yun yung mga takeaway natin.
I think that
Hindi ko talaga
is the
naiintindihan.
biggest lesson of all.
Hindi kahit na ginawa ko siya, hindi pa rin ako nanalo no start. Ako yung kompleto. So actually, narinig ko lahat, pero mali pa rin yung nilabas kong kamay.
Actually,
Kasi
so
nakabawas pa din.
Tanga talaga.
Tanga talaga ako.